there's like seasons for everything, but
Yeah.
the biggest thing I've been learning is to listen to your body. Like, because without our health, we can't do anything. So it's
Yeah.
like health is wealth, right? So it's like
Yes.
your body will tell you. And whether my brain likes it or not, my body will tell me if I'm tired. So I'm trying now to just use that as my indicator for when I need to go slower. But
Yes.
it's interesting because today I was like, okay, I'm doing an interview with you,
Yeah.
and then I'm doing my podcast with my friend. So I've got a late night because
Yeah.
she lives in France. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be working until like 10 or 11. So I can probably have a few hours to chill. But
Yeah.
I still felt guilty or whatever. But then I forced myself to do it. And I was just
Yeah.
relaxing. And I have this list. I even set an alarm in my phone saying, do the admin, call the 20 people, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm at a cafe. I know. I'm at a cafe and my phone dies and they plug it in for me. And then the waiter comes over and he's like, an alarm's just gone off that says you need to do your admin and call 20 people.
That is amazing.
I was like, oh, well, there we go. Anyway, I didn't do that. But what I did do is enjoyed myself and relaxed before this because I was
Yeah.
looking forward to this and I didn't want to miss it again because I kept getting confused. Anyway, get this. He ends up being the manager and is going to refer me to the owner of the building for custom made artworks.
Oh my God.
I
How
know.
good is that?
So I had a nice time, had a wine, didn't stress, ended up getting more of a lead than I would have otherwise. So I was like, that has to be a sign.
It's such a good thing when but you're open to business, like you'll have conversations with people.
Yeah.
You never know where leads are going to come from. Like, yes, it is good to
Yeah.
do in and call you 20 people, but you kind of never know where sales are going to come from in business.
It's so exciting, but it's weird as well. Like I always think about it. Like I could choose to speak to that person or not, and it could alter the whole trajectory of my life. Like I've always thought about that.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And imagine oh my God, I just got goosebumps. This is fun. It's like, imagine that too. Like, then you have the power. Like, so in my mind, I'm like, have the conversations. Don't ever not have the conversations because that one conversation could be the thing, could be the game.
That's right. You never know who it is. That's exactly right. And it's all up to us. Like we can choose to be in a good mood. We can choose to be positive.
Yeah.
We can choose to share or not share. Because he said to me, he was like, oh, so how's your day been? In that moment, I could say, good, thanks.
Fine.
But I was like, yeah, it's been great. I'm actually preparing for a podcast. I've just launched my business. Blah, blah, blah. And then that, you know what I mean? And I thought about that. I was like, lucky I'm chatty. Comes natural. But it is a choice too.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
No, and it's great too because, sometimes people hate sales, but I'm like, just tell more people what you do. Stop thinking about it as sales. Just tell people.
Talk.
And just talk. Yeah. And I'm like, that's why I always relate it to wine. I'm like, just think about it like having a wine with someone, having a chat. Like
just
that's
chatting.
all it is, And if they're not the right person, they might know the right person.
That's right. And if they don't, nothing lost. Like
totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know when I saw your podcast was called A Wine With, I was like, that's amazing. That's exactly what I would do because every time I've ever done anything, it's always been over a wine. And me and my partner always talk about it. We're like, we always have our best ideas at the pub. I'm like, totally. It's because we relax, I think.
It's so good. Well, yeah, my husband and I call it board meetings. So I say, I need a board meeting. So we go to the pub, have a wine and thrash everything out. Like what's going on? Like, and I unload about my business. He unloads out his work. And I'm like, everything's better over wine, It's just
100%.
You just